Right, here we are on the Royal Enfield Interceptor Bear 650. Absolutely marvellous, absolutely love it. But I wanted to compare it to the Triumph Scrambler XC. Yeah, the 400. Very similar in price, give or take 100 quid. And that, for me, means that they can be compared, even though this has got more cc. The Triumph is a brand well renowned for excellence, and Royal Enfield have been getting better and better for years, and now are they knocking on their door? Well, some people say yes, and it depends what bikes you're looking at, I suppose. But if we go to the Triumph and start with the clock, this clock, it's okay. It tells you, it's got information. It tells you your trip information, your fuel status, how many miles you've got to go, and your current economy. It's got an analog speedo and a digital rev counter. That's about it. You've got a USB somewhere as well. I don't know, I haven't looked for it. And on the XC, you've got this cowl thing to keep the rain off it and the sun, I suppose. It's very easy to see, and it's got enough information on there. The clock on this knocks spots off the Triumph. It's got more tech, it's got that built-in sat-nav, it looks nicer and it's more effective. The XC clock at night time is absolutely blinding. Yeah, whereas this switches to black, but even when it's on white at night, it's still not too bright. The Triumph clock is distracting, it is so bright. I think we ought to then think about the power, and this, when you get on it, feels like a solid bike. When you get on the Triumph, it feels really light and agile, and there is 30 kilos or so between the two of them. The Triumph feels like a terrier. It's very snappy, it feels very quick, even though it's only got 40 brake horsepower compared to this 47 brake horsepower. But this feels more powerful. If you're off-road, I guess the Triumph's the bike because it's lighter and it is zippy. So I guess it depends whether you want. I mean, I have been off-road with this and it's fun, but the Triumph is much more manageable and perhaps more designed for it. And that brings us on to the suspension. The suspension on this, it's firm, it's solid. On the road, on the A14, absolutely fine. The handling, I think on the road, this handles better. The Royal Enfield handles better than the Triumph, which is saying something, isn't it? But having said that, the Triumph doesn't handle bad. The suspension is lovely. You know, for the price point, it's really good. It's good off-road. It's okay on the A14. It goes down there like silk. On this back bumpy road, it's soft, you know, it keeps you comfy, but that's backed up by the seat as well. The bars are a nice width, making it easy to handle off-road, and the tyres, they're okay. I mean, it's wet today. I haven't, crikey, did you see that? I haven't felt that secure with these tyres, I've got to be honest. Which is disappointing because it's one of their selling points, I think, the Metzler Caros. But there you go. It's like a cross between a compromise between off-road and on-road, and I don't think they've achieved on either, to be honest. There's certainly not enough off-road, and they're a bit skatey on-road. Get down here. Just listen to that sound. The engine noise, again, the Triumph sounds okay. You know, it's a 400 single, and I think they've done a reasonable job of making it sound decent. But this, it just sounds wonderful, from the intake, from the engine itself, from the gearbox, and from the exhaust. So I think this has it. So let's talk about the engine, because this engine is, like I say, it's peppy. 40 brake horsepower, 39 newton meters of torque, but it's also a little bit snatchy as well. It's quite an aggressive bike to ride. Where do I go? Up here. Which makes it fun, but also quite tiring, and yeah, alright on a run on the A14 once you get going, but down these back roads, you're up and down that gear quite a bit. You can ride it quite steadily, but like I say, that engine is just a little bit snatchy. The clutch light as a feather, and the quality is pretty good. So the ergonomics, I find this absolutely fine. I struggled a little bit with the foot pegs on the Royal Enfield. Of course, the Triumph, the foot pegs, yeah, the foot pegs on this are perfect, nice and comfy. The height from the foot pegs to the seat, for me at 6'2", is a bit low. So I tend to be a bit more hunched. It's, I mean, it's okay. I've ridden it fair distances and I haven't been uncomfortable. It is a comfortable bike. I actually prefer it on this, but you perhaps lent a little more forward, maybe more stretch to the bars, I don't know. But I also find some people have said, whoa, we've got a big wagon coming, let me get out of the way. The brakes on this are not so good. I find them absolutely fine, and in fact on the Triumph, what I have found is the brakes, people have said the brakes are pretty good. I've found the brakes on this, and it could be the weather, I haven't found them quite good enough. I'd have preferred more. Obviously not today when you're in traffic and it's a bit skatey and stuff. They're ample because I'm going a little bit slower, but this bike is a terrier. It's so much fun down the back lanes, and it encourages you to go quick. It reminds me of the 252 strokes we used to have as kids, and for that you need pretty good brakes, though we didn't have good brakes when we were kids, did we? Let's be honest. You've got to really hang on to them. So yeah, now the Triumph, I think, has been built down to a price, and it, when you first get on it, the first thing you notice is that weight, but it also feels just a little bit, not cheap, but like a toy, maybe an expensive toy, whereas this feels like a big solid motorbike. And as you know, I love Triumph and I love the 400X, and you know, this is nitpicking. You've got to remember, this is literally nitpicking. There are very few poor bikes, and the Triumph is one of the best bikes in its market, I think. But I think this Royal Enfield is just it's got the looks, it's got the tech that you want on the clock, just enough. Then you can turn it off if you want. It's just wonderful. So there are things that Triumph excel at, and they've got the ergonomics right, they've got the styling right, they've got the weight right, and they've drawn a lot of power out of a little engine. It sounds great, but this, for a Triumph, feels cheap. Yeah, I mean, I never thought I'd be saying that, but they have. And this is nitpicking. I don't want you to think this is a cheaply made bike. It's not. This is a cracking bike. But in a comparison to the Bear, and whether I've made the right decision or not, for me, I mean, if I was going off-road an awful lot, which I'm not, this would be the bike. If I struggled with weight, and I don't mean myself, I mean the bike, this would be the bike. But have I made the right decision? Oh, 100% yes. I mean, I was so close to buying that XC, but it wasn't, they just didn't come out quick enough. So I went with this, and I don't regret it one little bit. Would I have been perfectly happy with the Triumph? Yeah, of course I would. It's a cracking bike, and I would never have known the wonders of the Bear, so it becomes sort of irrelevant. The Triumph has some plus points. The seat, the suspension, the brand, the name. But along with that name comes a premium price, I think. And I think Royal Enfield, the quality on this is just perfect. Yeah, and you know, sort of £6,500 price, and used, you're going to be able to pick them up. Maybe not as cheap as you might think, but you're going to be able to get them cheaper than that, and much easier to service one of these yourself. Yeah, so that's what I'd say. Two cracking bikes.